Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with Liam Craig to preview the Hibs and Johnston game on Saturday. Thanks for joining me, Liam.
Thank you, Darren. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to the game on Saturday.
So, where do you think it'll be won and lost for you guys?
Hopefully it'll be one. But no, I actually think it'll be an exciting game. I think the two games this season in the league have shown that both teams have got really good football players in both squads. I think both want to attack, both want to get the ball down and play. And both games have been tight. I think the home game at McDermott Park for us, we were disappointed to lose the game 1-0 with a last minute penalty, and also at Easter Road, for us to be 1-0 up and then 2-1 up to lead the game twice, we're disappointed to draw. So I think it's got the makings of a great semi-final, and I think not just ourselves and Hibs, I think St Mirren and Livingston, all four teams will see this as a real opportunity to go and win a cup.
So obviously you weren't in the starting lineup on Saturday or even on the bench. Will you make Saturday?
I was on the bench. Come on, I'm not that bad yet. I was on the bench.
No,
I got the last 5 minutes.
And it never said?
I got the last 5 minutes on Saturday. So, obviously I played against Dundee United on last Tuesday. Again, was a decent performance and a 2-2 draw. And, St Mirren on Saturday, it was a huge win for us. I think ourselves and Hibs will be delighted to get a win going into such a big game this weekend, after having a run of games without a win. And looking forward to this Saturday. Obviously, we'll work this week on ways we think we can win the game, and ways we can stop Hibs forward-thinking players getting on the ball and hurting us. Because you look at the Hibs squad, and obviously they've added to it in the last week or so with Jackson Irvine and Chris Cadden, two top players with a lot of experience in Scotland as well. So, and you look at Nisbet and Doidge and Murphy, Dre Wright, boys like that, all top quality that can hurt you when they're given time and space on the ball. And like I said earlier, we've got a squad of players and attacking players throughout our squad that can cause Hibs problems as well. So we'll be doing our best to get them on the ball and causing Hibs as much problems as we can.
Because obviously, as you know, Lewis Stevenson made his 500 appearance and also got contract extension until next summer, 2022. What's he like when you come up against them?
No, first and foremost, Louis is one of the best people you could meet in football. I know you've done interviews with him in the past, and to share a dressing room with him, I'd heard a lot of good things about him. But to share a dressing room and see up close just how good a professional he is, and such a great character he is on and off the pitch, I'm delighted for him. To get 500 games in professional football is an incredible achievement. But to do it at Hibs is, remarkable, and full credit to him. He deserves everything he gets. He's the only player, I believe, in history at Hibs to win the League Cup and the Scottish Cup. And he deserves all the credit and the acclaims that come his way, because he is, one of the best people that I've shared a dressing room with. Playing against him, it's going to be a tough game. I was fortunate. I think I played in a few of the only games that he scored in. He's not scored many goals in his career, but I remember a goal at Ibrox in a 2-0 win, I think it was, when he scored a volley with his left foot and it dropped over his shoulder. So he didn't score many, but when he does, it seems to be a worldie. But I'm looking forward to seeing a few of the boys. Obviously, Davy Gray and Paul Hanlon are two people I'm close with as well. And that was the thing, when I was at Hibs, I was lucky enough to be around a good group of people, and I've stayed close with them ever since.
So what's your score prediction?
I take a St Johnstone 1-0 win. I would take a win on penalties. I've played in, this will be my 7th semi-final, and unfortunately I've never quite got to a final. So at 34-year-old, I'm not sure how many more semi-finals I'll play in. So like the rest of the squad, will be giving it everything. So it doesn't matter what age you are. I think it's an opportunity to go and create your own bit of history at the club, whether that's at St Johnstone or Hibs or Livingston or St Mirren. And all four teams will believe that they've got a really good opportunity to go and win a trophy this year. as I say, I'm no bothered how we do it or when we do it, as long as 8 o'clock on Saturday night, St Johnson's in the final. I think you'll think different. So
I think where we can win, it could, if we can get the crosses into the box early and pressure not only your defence, but test your goalkeeper at the same time. And hopefully if we get the first goal, just hit you on the counter attack again.
no, I think that's it. I think over the course of the season and for a few years now, I think the first goal can be so important in Scottish football. I think a lot of games, if you do get the first goal, you don't go on and lose many games. So it will be important. But I think what we've shown this year at St Johnstone is there's been a few games. Motherwell in the last 16 of this competition, we went a goal down and won, and Kilmarnock in the league this season, we went a goal down and came back and won. So we've got that character and spirit within the squad to make the comebacks. But we've no beat Hibs this year, so we know how difficult it's going to be. But we do take a lot of positives for how we've played in the games. And as I say, it's a game we're very much looking forward to. I think playing at Hampden, people have got their own opinion on it, but as a player, personally for me, I love playing there. When I was younger, it would be a dream to play at Hampden when you were a young kid growing up. So it'll be nice to go back there, and as I say, hopefully we can win.
Now, I'm presuming you, obviously, I was going to say, you're not, do you think you'll be in the starting 11?
I don't know. I think what the manager's been good at this year is rotated the squad. And again, showed at the weekend that, he changed the two midfielders that played against Dundee United last week. So the good thing is we've got a good squad here. And everyone's ready to play their part. He's rotated the squad, especially in the Cup this year. In the early rounds, we had people away on international duty and different things, so he's had to mix it up. And the good thing for him and for St Johnstone is the players that have came in have all showed that they're more than capable of playing week in, week out. And we've not got the biggest squad at St Johnstone, but we've got a close-knit squad with a really good team spirit and a really good work ethic. And we've showed this year as well that we've got good forward-thinking players that can get on the ball and cause people problems. And defensively, in particular the last few games, we've looked solid as well.
But there's no injuries on your side?
No, as far as I'm aware, I'm no injured anyway, so hopefully get a good week's training the rest of the week, and the excitement starts to build as the week goes on and it gets closer. And the biggest disappointment for the players and the clubs is that there's no supporters going to be at Hampden. These are occasions that they maybe didn't come around that often, and it would be great if the supporters could be there to have the atmosphere as well. I think that's been probably the toughest thing this season for the players. When we first came back, it was great in terms of you were back playing and fortunate to be back playing. But when I look back over my career, the atmosphere from the supporters, and I've been fortunate to play in the Edinburgh Derby. I've been fortunate to play big games at St Johnstone as well, where the atmosphere's been brilliant. European ties and whatever. So having the supporters there is huge. And if you're lucky enough to score goals, and like the last round, the penalty shootout at Dunfermline, it was taken in the away end, and it would have been great if we could have had 1,500, 2,000 supporters behind the goal at East End Park, and it just adds that atmosphere, and it adds to the memories. As I say, I've been lucky enough to play in some great games and some great atmospheres, and fortunately scored a few goals. And the biggest thing is that noise when you score a goal that the crowd and the supporters generate. So it'll be disappointing not to have them there, but certainly from our side, we'd love to give them a cup final to look forward to.
So is it strange, obviously, going into this semi-final without the support? Does that bring more pressure?
No, I think as a footballer, you always put pressure on yourself to go and do well. Just disappointing because you want to play in big atmospheres and big games and in big stadiums, and it doesn't come much bigger than a semi-final at Hampden. So we put pressure on ourselves to go and perform and go and win the game. And it is disappointing that the supporters aren't going to be there, but they'll be watching at home, and it's important for us, especially at this stage of the season. Can we go and get to a cup final and keep building the momentum that we've picked up over the last 3 or 4 games? We're unbeaten in the last 4 league games, and especially in the League Cup, we've performed really well this year. And we came through a group that had Dundee United in it. We went away to Motherwell and beat them in the last 16, and then we went away to Dunfermline and beat them in the quarter final. Who, are I think they're second in the Championship, or they certainly were at the time, behind Hearts. So it's not been easy to get to the semi-final, but we've showed that we're more than capable of going matching these teams away from home as well. And Hibs on Saturday is another big challenge, but one we're very much looking forward to.
Because you haven't beat us this season, have you?
No, which is disappointing. But I think, we've shown in both games that we're more than capable of matching Hibs. Obviously, Hibs are having a great season in terms of their league position. Into the latter stages of the League Cup and the Scottish Cup to look forward to as well. So they'll be delighted with how they've been performing this year. But I think over the 2 games, we've shown that we can compete with them. And if we can just add that final wee bit and put the ball in the back of the net, and it'll be great if we can finally beat them at the weekend.
But it's much appreciated you taking the time to do a wee preview with me. What I'll do is, if I end it here, I'll carry on chatting if that's all right.
No problem at all, Dan. Thank you.
Cheers, Liam.